I have fought in 100 battles or so. There's not a space on my body that does not have a scar from a sword or an arrow. This was Khalid ibn al-Walid, a warrior who knew nothing but victory. Now imagine another man who said, "I am the punishment of God." If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. This was Genghis Khan, a leader who built one of the largest empires the world has ever seen. What happens when we place the stories of these two giants side by side? What can we learn from lives lived with such intensity and purpose? Khalid and Genghis lived centuries apart, on different lands, and fought for entirely different reasons. Yet their shadows stretch long across history. They were more than just soldiers. They were forces of nature who shaped the world in ways we might not even realize. This is not just a story about battles and conquests, but a journey into the heart of what it means to lead, to inspire, and to change the world. We'll explore their courage, their strategies, their leadership, and their legacy, seeking lessons that still matter today. So let's begin our journey into the lives of Khalid and Genghis, and discover what their stories reveal about greatness. The Sword of God. Let's travel back to the deserts of Arabia, over 14 centuries ago, and meet Khalid ibn al-Walid. In his early days, Khalid was a fierce opponent of Islam, a brilliant military mind from a powerful Meccan tribe. But something changed. He saw something in the new faith that called to his heart, and he joined the very people he once fought. Once Khalid embraced Islam, his life took on a new purpose. The Prophet Muhammad gave him the title Saifullah, the Sword of God. Khalid was like a finely crafted sword, sharp, precise, and unstoppable in the hands of a cause he believed in. He fought in over 100 battles, from small skirmishes to massive clashes against the Byzantines and Persians, and was never defeated. His genius was not just in fighting but in thinking. He could see a battlefield with perfect clarity, knowing exactly when to strike or retreat. He moved his armies with lightning speed, surprising enemies who thought they were safe. Khalid's story is one of transformation, from enemy to champion, proving anyone can change their path and find a greater purpose. He was not a king or an emperor, but a general whose authority came from unmatched ability and the deep respect of his soldiers. They trusted him completely, knowing that following Khalid meant following the path to victory. His life shows us that true greatness comes from dedicating your talents to something bigger than yourself. Khalid's legacy is a testament to the power of purpose and the possibility of change. The Great Khan. Now let's journey to the grasslands of Mongolia 800 years ago, where a boy named Temüjin was born into chaos. Temüjin's father was poisoned, and his tribe abandoned him and his family. He faced starvation, capture, and betrayal. This hardship forged him into a leader of incredible strength and determination. Temüjin built alliances, gathering followers drawn to his vision of a unified people. He did what no one had done before, united the warring Mongol tribes under a single banner. He became Genghis Khan, universal ruler. With his people united, Genghis Khan created one of the most disciplined and effective armies the world had ever seen. The Mongol warrior, on horseback, was a master of archery and speed, able to cover vast distances and strike unexpectedly. Genghis Khan's strategies were revolutionary. He used spies, psychological warfare, and adopted new technologies from those he conquered. He created laws and a written language, bringing order to his growing empire. His legacy is complex. His conquests were brutal, but he also connected East and West, establishing the Silk Road as a safe route for trade and ideas. He valued merit over noble birth, allowing talent to rise regardless of background. Genghis Khan's story is proof that a single individual, driven by vision, can rise from nothing to reshape the world. His life is a powerful example of resilience, ambition, and the impact of leadership. Courage isn't just a feeling, it's action. For Khalid and Genghis, courage was a daily choice on the battlefield. Khalid led from the front, fighting alongside his men. His bravery inspired trust and unity. His presence was a promise. I am with you, and together we cannot be defeated. This personal bravery created a bond no speech could build. Genghis Khan's courage was forged in hardship. He faced death countless times, but his bravery was tied to his vision. He dared to dream of a united Mongol nation, challenging tradition and risking everything for an idea. It takes courage to hold on to a vision when everyone says it can't be done. Both men teach us that courage has many faces: physical courage in battle, and moral courage in pursuing a difficult goal. In our lives we may not face armies, but we face our own battles: fear of failure, fear of the unknown. Their stories remind us that courage isn't about being fearless, but about moving forward despite fear. Khalid and Genghis show that true courage is acting for a cause you believe in. Whether on the battlefield or in life, courage is the first step toward greatness. Their example challenges us to find our own courage, whatever battles we face. If courage is the heart of a warrior, strategy is the mind. Khalid and Genghis were masters of the art of war. Khalid's genius was in flexibility and surprise. His famous feigned retreat lured enemies into traps, turning the tide of battle. He understood the importance of speed, moving his army through deserts to strike where least expected. Khalid didn't just fight, he controlled the entire board. Genghis Khan's brilliance was in organization and information. He sent spies to gather intelligence before attacking. He created the YAM, a relay communication system that let him command his empire across vast distances. This gave him a huge advantage over slower, less connected enemies. Both leaders show us that winning isn't always about strength. It's about being smart, prepared, and creative. Khalid's surprise tactics and Genghis's information network prove that clever planning can overcome brute force. In our own challenges, we can learn from them, plan, gather information, and think creatively. A good strategy is the key to success, whether on the battlefield or in everyday life. Their stories remind us to use both heart and mind in pursuit of our goals. Strategy, like courage, is essential for overcoming obstacles and achieving greatness. A leader with no followers is like a captain with no ship. Khalid and Genghis inspired deep loyalty in their people. Khalid's leadership was built on faith and personal example. He shared every hardship with his soldiers, earning their trust. He was not a distant commander, but a brother in arms. His humility was legendary. Even after being removed from command, he continued to fight as an ordinary soldier. This act of humility earned him even more respect. Genghis Khan built loyalty through meritocracy and shared rewards. He promoted people based on skill, not bloodline. Anyone could rise in his army if they proved themselves worthy. He made it clear that if the empire succeeded, everyone would share in the rewards. Genghis created a sense of shared purpose and destiny, binding the Mongol people to him. His laws were strict but fair, applying to everyone, even his own family. Both Khalid and Genghis show that loyalty isn't demanded. It's earned through fairness, humility, and shared struggle. Great leaders make their followers feel valued and part of something important. Their leadership styles were different, but both inspired fierce loyalty and unity. Their stories teach us that true leadership is about service, fairness, and inspiring others to greatness. What do great leaders leave behind? Their legacy is the story history tells about them. Khalid's victories protected and expanded the early Muslim state, inspiring generations. He's remembered not as a king, but as a man of faith who built a foundation of security. His tactics are still studied, and his story inspires those who value both skill and purpose. Khalid's legacy is about using worldly talents for a higher cause. Genghis Khan's legacy is vast and controversial. He was a brutal conqueror, but also a unifier and nation builder. He connected East and West, creating the Pax Mongolica, a period of peace and exchange. His empire allowed ideas and technology to spread, shaping the world in unexpected ways. Genghis was both destroyer and creator, conqueror and connector. Their legacies remind us that greatness is complex, and its impact can echo for centuries. Why should we care about a general from ancient Arabia and a Khan from Mongolia? Because their challenges are, at their core, the same as ours. Their stories are about leadership, strategy, courage, and dealing with success and failure. Timeless lessons for any era. From Khalid, we learn the power of purpose and humility. True greatness is about service, not titles. From Genghis, we learn about vision and resilience. Our circumstances don't define our future. He teaches us to be lifelong learners, always curious and willing to adapt. Comparing these two giants shows there's no single formula for greatness. Khalid was a servant of faith, Genghis, a visionary empire builder. By studying both, we see different paths to leadership and human potential. Their lives are mirrors, reflecting what we can achieve with purpose and vision. Their lessons help us navigate our own challenges, even in a modern world. We've walked with Khalid through Arabia and ridden with Genghis across Mongolia, witnessing their courage, strategies, and legacies. One was guided by faith, the other by vision. Both changed the world in their own way. Their stories prove that leadership isn't one size fits all. It can be humble or ambitious, quiet or bold. Khalid shows us the strength of purpose and humility. Genghis, the power of vision and resilience. Both teach that a leader must be smart, adaptable, and able to inspire others. The world has changed, but the need for courage, strategy, and leadership remains. As we leave these stories, let's ask, what truly defines greatness? Is it victories and power, or purpose and legacy? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere between the sword and the Khan.